Hi Pisces, and welcome to your June monthly tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are doing well. This is a general reading for any sun, moon, or rising Pisces. And so we can take a look at the cards, we can get a sense of the energies for the month to help guide you. And hopefully some of this will resonate. Again, it's a general reading, so take what does, leave the rest, as many say. And let's see what is going on for you, Pisces. Okay, so the first two cards I'm choosing are the cards to be aware of, like the big themes for the week. So we're starting with two pentacle cards, and we're starting with the Knight of Pentacles. And as you can see, he's sitting on his horse and he's holding his pentacle and he's kind of out in the field. He's observing perhaps his land and his fields and his harvest. And there's a sense here of study, of hard work, of being very devoted to what you're doing this week, that you will be planning and taking your time, perhaps, in making decisions. Often the Knight of Pentacles can suggest a conservative approach, slow moving. Some may say plodding, but, this is a hard working energy. And again, Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be planning, you could be writing, you could be really thinking about your finances, perhaps planning a vacation, planning to meet people if you're interested in dating, but there's a real sense of study here and focus and leadership as well. So the Queen also adds to this grounded, practical approach that the Pentacles brings you this week. She's sitting on her throne. She has her pentacle and the little rabbit here, and she's surrounded by abundance. This is a call to you this week to spend some time in nature, to appreciate the beauty surrounding you, outside in nature, as well as the beauty of your home. This Queen is resourceful and is able to turn a flea market find into something really cute and charming and nice and useful. So she's able to do a lot of things. She's successful. She's very loving and nurturing. So in addition to the pragmatic planning, you're planning a lot this week. You may be nurturing someone else. You may require some nurturing yourself. So let's choose, we're going to choose two cards, and this will be for guidance for the week. Okay, so your guidance of the week. So we have the Eight of Swords, and the swords, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And this lady here is blindfolded, she is bound, and she is kind of in between the puddles and the swords. There's a sense here of feeling trapped, of feeling restricted, perhaps feeling oppressed. More often than not, this can represent some things that we think and we do to ourselves where we feel maybe not so confident, or we feel lack of confidence, we feel we're beating ourselves up a bit. But this looks like you're unwilling to make a decision, you're unwilling to deal with something. You feel that maybe you can't, thus the feeling of feeling trapped. And you may be wondering, well, how am I going to get out of this? What am I going to do? But if you look closely, she's not tightly wrapped. She could easily squiggle out of there and step away. You just have to make that first step. You have to strip that blindfold off. So the message here is for you to, if you're feeling sorry for yourself, if you're feeling you're in a tough situation, if you're having a struggle, or you're down, you're feeling down, or you're feeling that you're just stuck, take some time, think about a way that you can take that first step. It just has to be a baby step. And that baby step may lead to an even larger step, and then you can begin to unravel what's keeping you tied up. And the card to complement this is a lovely card. It's the Major Arcana. It's Strength. And strength is about self-control. It's about gentleness and kindness and controlling your impulses, not doing anything rash or something that would injure yourself. And so there's a sense here of using kindness and consideration to help guide your way, particularly in interactions with others. The Strength card tells you that you have the inner strength to handle whatever obstacles or challenges that you may be facing, and that your heart is big, and that heart has a lot of courage, and you may not think that you have it, but you do. So rely on the strength to help you. So now I'm going to choose 2 cards as possible outcomes. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is intellectual. She's no nonsense. She's direct and to the point. She holds steady that very sharp and powerful blade and can make decisions that are fair, that are just, that are well-reasoned and well thought out. So within your midst this week, within your circle, maybe you have someone of this nature. Maybe you work with someone like this who's very decisive, who's very informed, intellectual, has a plan more than likely, executes it. This can suggest having to do some research and looking at a matter, but in terms of outcomes, this is making decisions that are based on fact, being informed, using this information to be clear about what you're doing. And then we see the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana. And this Wheel of Fortune is about the wheel of life, that life is always in motion. We have things that are happening to us constantly, random events that pop in and pop out of our lives. Some are good, some are bad. It's all a matter of how you respond to them, of what the universe throws to you. One day you could be riding high, and the next day you feel like you've been spun in the opposite direction. So in terms of outcomes, there could be a change. And when I see the Wheel of Fortune, it makes me think that take a little time before you make decisions. The Queen of Swords can help you with any decision making that you have to do, is to look to be informed. And be informed before you make a decision, before you react to a change. Have everything you need in order to make that decision. So let's just take a quick peek again here at what you have. You have the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Practical, resourceful energy, hard work with the Knight of Pentacles, planning, you're planning something. You have a little bit here of maybe self-doubt or lack of confidence, or you feel trapped or stuck. And the guidance to take is to trust that you have the strength within to deal with whatever adversity. Use the Queen of Swords energy to help you. Deal with changes. Deal with situations that may spin in a different way unexpectedly. And to get a little more information, I'm going to choose, a card from the Osho Zen. choose that card. Okay. New vision. So new vision, and that can go to inspiration, can go to creativity, and can also go to new approaches, a new way of thinking. When we have new vision, we are often allowing new thoughts and, out-of-the-box thinking to occur. So, fabulous card, new vision, perhaps new opportunities as well, with changes with the Wheel of Fortune coming. Now, I'd also like to choose a card for spiritual self or emotional self to get a sense of awareness for this. Embrace the moment. Embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy. I really like how that's stated. Changing your energy. Repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself. There could be judging yourself. It's something that we do. So embrace the moment. Embrace where you are. And finally, I'm going to choose an oracle card from the Whispers of Love, just to get some information about love. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. There's a lot to be said for hugging, for a warm embrace, touching someone's hand and reaffirming or supporting them with a hand, holding their hand. And particularly seniors, I love to just hold on to their hands and talk to them. So physical touch is important, and to be without it is I think it leaves a little bit of a hole in your heart. So when you're able to hug someone, maybe cuddle with someone, and I love the thought and the advice of giving a hug to someone who needs it, to not be afraid for physical touch, and to hug someone who is in need of an embrace or a tender moment. So Pisces, this is your weekly reading for June 3rd to June 9th. I hope you found something helpful here. If you did, please subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment. So I hope I will see you again. Check out some of my other readings. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.